Hi gorgeous! Here are items I purged from my closet and do not regret purging, and probably some items that you should probably get rid of in your closet too. So I have too many clothes as it is, and I'm trying to get rid of them and trying to create space in my home because I find myself not using a lot of these clothes and not planning to use these clothes. So visit my Poshmark store, it's linked below, and if you have a Poshmark store, I'd love to follow and connect with you because I love sharing other people's items. Also follow me on LTK for feminine and glamorous styles. Number one is things that don't flatter me. The whole point of designers a long time ago, not just designing for royalty, but for people who could afford it, which is why designing was so special. Designers would have specific style, obviously, and then people would pay them to make them look good. As in, they would tailor them, they would put that style on their body and make it look as flattering as possible. Clothes that flatter you in the way that you like to look are really important to keep an eye out for, because you can have the most gorgeous, glamorous looking designer dress, however expensive it may be, and if it doesn't fit you or look appropriate on your body shape, then it's not worth keeping, it's not worth buying, it's not worth the pain of parting with. So I know a lot of people who have that issue. I see it all the time in Poshmark. Number two, things that are too trendy. So sometimes things are great for the time, and a way to see this is by seeing how extreme they are. So the more extreme the trend is, typically will tell you if it's meant to last or not. So for example, neon green dresses that have a ton of cutouts, that is definitely a trend. Something to probably avoid. You're not going to get your best cost per wear. I really don't care about cost per wear. I just want to know, hey, am I going to wear this every day? Am I going to wear this a lot for the majority of the time that I'm alive? Is this my style? Does it match with every other thing that I have in my closet, or most things at least? So that's something to consider, is trends and how trendy exactly they are, because it's nice to incorporate trends into the wardrobe that you have. If you have basics and fundamentals that are staples, I have a capsule wardrobe, but I like to spice it up every now and again with seasonal things that make it more interesting, as opposed to having the same basic pieces all over and over again. It's nice to have novelty, but see if you can bring them back into circulation. Like, do you see yourself wearing this in 10 years? Early 2000 style that I grew up with, I was 5 years old in 2000 and I wore like all the stuff they wore in Mean Girls. Like a lot of that is like pink polos. I can definitely see that coming back in the future, not just once, not just this time around 20 years later. Keep that in mind also if you're shopping secondhand, like on Poshmark, online, or in person, not just like impulse buying. Number three, clothes I have taken too many pictures in. So there are I know this sounds horrible. If I'm around my friends and they see me constantly in this outfit that is something that I've worn that's really statement, it's okay to have statement clothes. Like, I think it's perfectly fine to wear a bunch of statement outfits because I love statement clothes. I love being loud and glamorous and extravagant. With clothes that are seen way too much, we just like don't like to stomach things, seeing them over and over again, unless they're styled differently. That's interesting. Where me, a lot of the clothes that I have a bunch of pictures of my clothes in already, I have already worn them in so many styles. So that means I wore the heck out of them, definitely got my money's worth. So I'm not worried about wearing them again, because there are some items that are very sentimental, but I personally don't put that kind of value into items because I find that more in jewelry or in watches, in purses, because they're something that you can wear with everything. They're accessories. Where with like the actual dress, unless it's like a wedding dress, I kept my wedding dress. So if you do have a statement piece, if it's unique enough that you know, oh, it's a custom or tailored design that's specifically for your body shape or has another level of sentimentality, then it's worth keeping if you have a ton of pictures in it. So like your birthday dress that you wore in blah 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 year for that party that everybody saw you and came to celebrate with you, that's one thing. But things that I've taken too many photos in that are just like random regular outfits, I'm definitely getting rid of those. Next is things that I haven't worn in ages. Also, this applies again with the sentimentality value. So things that don't have sentimental value, which I don't really have with a lot of clothes, honestly. Things that you haven't worn in ages are really important to get rid of, because if you're not wearing them, there's probably a reason, unless you put them in a pile that says, I'm gonna wear this within the next week and see how comfortable I am in it, so that you can see if it applies to your lifestyle. Because when you're constructing a wardrobe, you want it to fit into something that you actually are willing to wear and something that you know you will wear. Because anytime you have wishful thinking, it's just in anything in life, it's a bad idea. So that means it's not fitting into your lifestyle as of now. So it's important to consider this. I have so many things I've never worn on my Poshmark, by the way, or I've only worn them once, which is such a sad shame because It just doesn't match with everything else that I have in my closet or with my accessories, and I just had impulse buying. Sometimes, like if I plan a trip and it gets canceled, then I really was planning to wear it. I bought boots for a trip that never happened. However, I do keep hats because I think hats are beautiful. They're collector's items, and I will always find that hats are timeless. And things that are too worn out, obviously I'm going to get rid of. I really don't have worn out items, but I think it's really important that if you notice something is starting to wear, get rid of it. Because if you have socks that have holes in it, get rid of it. If you have underwear that has holes in it, get rid of it. On my Poshmark, I don't have anything that's really worn out. I have clothes that are pilling, but then I just shave them carefully, and then if they get too thin, then it's time for it to go. I'm never gonna resell something that's not of upstanding quality. Look put together. Don't look like, even if your clothes aren't expensive, it doesn't mean that you look cheap. It just means your clothes aren't expensive. You can find ways to look put together by keeping it simple. So if you're not sure, don't go with the trends. Just stay to the classic timeless pieces that suit you and flatter your body shape, as opposed to what everyone else is saying, oh, this is a classic piece. Because there are a lot of classic clothing pieces that don't look good on me. I have a very specific body shape. I have broad shoulders. People tell me that, no, you don't have broad shoulders. It's because I know how to dress for myself. I've had years of trial and error of figuring out how to dress for broad shoulders. So that's a true testament, and you should subscribe on that alone, because I know how to dress for specific body shape. Things that are too worn out are just an obvious pass. Don't go for those things. Don't buy things just because they're designer secondhand online. Like if you're going on ThreadUp or The RealReal, if something has serious marks and scratches, negotiate down. If you're going on Mercari or Poshmark or Depop, whatever secondhand apps or platforms that you use, know the item's worth, because when something is worn, it's already 50% off plus the damages. For each damage, I would knock off another 20%. I actually had a store, an apparel company, and I saw how much wholesale marked up items and how much we had to buy them for. People who see the brand and they're like, I paid this and this much for this brand, that's why I'm not gonna negotiate down to go lower than this. That's okay if you agree to pay that price. That's up to you. Be aware of those people who are not being fair, because just because their item is a Christian Louboutin shoe, like the red soles aren't even visible anymore, and they're still charging you $800 for them. That's ridiculous. Especially shoes that are designer, they're just meant to be bought new, that you can wear them in so they fit to your foot only. Yeah, they're shoes. They're really specific, and they're very personal. It's a personal buy. It's like buying a bra. Give me a subscribe or give this a like for other people to find this if they want to clean out their closets and minimize, because it's important to not have too much, not have too little, and really appreciate what you have, what you're wearing now. Start the ball rolling on getting people creative with what they already have. I'm already downsizing so much. Let me know what kind of items you're getting rid of from your closet in the comments below. Check out the links in the description for more. If you want to see my style, follow me on LTK or Like to Know It for more feminine and glamorous style. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week for another fashion video.